1. Attention grabbing. Introduction. Let's face it, nobody cares about your excuses, your struggles, or your drama. And guess what? That's freeing. The harsh truth is that the world doesn't stop spinning for our problems, and most people are too caught up in their own lives to focus on ours. At first, this might sound cold, even discouraging, but when you shift your perspective, you'll realize that this truth is actually a gift. It's an invitation to take full responsibility for your own life without relying on external validation or pity. Stoic philosophy teaches us that freedom comes when we stop expecting the world to cater to us and instead focus on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and choices. The ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus lived by this principle, and it's just as relevant today. In this video, we'll explore how embracing the idea that nobody cares can empower you to let go of external pressures, focus on your goals, and live with a sense of purpose. This isn't about being cynical. It's about reclaiming your energy from things that don't serve you. So let's dive in. 2. What does nobody cares mean in Stoicism? In Stoicism, the idea that nobody cares is not a call to apathy or indifference toward others. It's a recognition of life's reality. The Stoics believed that the world operates according to its own rules, independent of our desires, fears, or opinions. People are often too consumed by their own struggles, ambitions, and distractions to truly care about the details of our lives. And that's not a bad thing. It's a truth that liberates us from the heavy burden of seeking approval or validation. Marcus Aurelius captured this sentiment perfectly in his Meditations. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This reminds us that life is fleeting, and worrying about what others think is a waste of our precious time. Instead, the Stoics encourage us to focus on our own inner world, the only thing truly within our control. This doesn't mean becoming self-centered or dismissing others' feelings. It means understanding that our happiness and fulfillment don't depend on the opinions or actions of others. Whether someone cares or not doesn't change your ability to take action, improve, and live a virtuous life. By embracing this mindset, you free yourself from the chains of external judgment and start living authentically, with purpose and clarity. 3. Why seeking approval is a trap. Seeking approval is one of the most common traps we fall into, and it's also one of the most harmful. From a young age, we're conditioned to crave validation from parents, teachers, friends, and eventually, society. But the Stoics teach us that this constant need for approval is a recipe for unhappiness. Why? Because it places our sense of worth in the hands of others, making us vulnerable to their opinions, biases, and whims. Epictetus warned about this in his teachings. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This is a powerful reminder that growth often requires us to step away from the crowd and focus on our own path, even if it means facing criticism or misunderstanding. The problem with seeking approval is that it shifts our focus from what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and character, to what we can't, how others perceive us. No matter how hard we try, we can't control what someone else thinks. People's opinions are shaped by their own experiences, insecurities, and priorities, not necessarily by the truth of who we are. When we chase approval, we give away our power. We end up living for others, trying to fit into molds that were never meant for us. Stoicism offers a liberating alternative. Live according to your own principles and values, not someone else's expectations. The world doesn't need to approve of your actions for them to be meaningful. In fact, some of the most transformative choices you make will likely be misunderstood or criticized. Ultimately, the Stoics remind us that seeking approval is like chasing the wind. It's elusive, fleeting, and ultimately beyond our grasp. Instead, focus on living a life of virtue, integrity, and purpose. The right people will respect you for it, and those who don't, they were never worth your energy to begin with. 4. The weight of opinions, yours versus theirs. One of the greatest lessons from Stoicism is learning to prioritize your own opinion over the opinions of others. The Stoics believe that your judgment about yourself should matter far more than what others think of you. This isn't about arrogance or dismissing others completely. It's about recognizing that your self-worth doesn't come from external sources, but from your inner character and actions. Epictetus put it plainly, "It is not things themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about those things." The same principle applies to how we perceive other people's opinions. Their judgments are not facts. They're shaped by their own biases, experiences, and emotions. Allowing someone else's opinion to dictate your self-image is like letting a stranger write the story of your life. Imagine you're an artist painting your life on a canvas. Now, would you hand your brush to someone else and let them decide the colors, strokes, and shapes? Of course not. Yet, when we place too much weight on others' opinions, we do exactly that. We let others influence how we see ourselves and how we live. The Stoics taught us that true freedom comes from within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." This highlights the paradox many of us live with. We value our lives, yet we allow external voices to overshadow our inner truth. The solution lies in shifting your focus inward. Ask yourself, what do I think about my actions, my goals, and my choices? Am I living in alignment with my values? If the answer is yes, then the opinions of others, whether praise or criticism, lose their power over you. 6. How to handle criticism. Like a Stoic, criticism is something we all face, and it often feels personal and hurtful. But Stoicism teaches us that criticism is not inherently harmful. It's how we interpret and respond to it that determines its impact. A Stoic doesn't fear criticism. Instead, they view it as an opportunity for growth, or as noise to be ignored, depending on its validity. The first step in handling criticism like a Stoic is to pause and assess. Epictetus advised, "If someone criticizes you, ask yourself, is what they are saying true? If it is, make changes. If it is not, dismiss it." This simple yet powerful approach removes the emotional sting of criticism and turns it into a moment for reflection. If the criticism is valid, embrace it as feedback. Marcus Aurelius believed that a wise person should welcome constructive criticism as a tool for self-improvement. For instance, if someone points out a mistake in your work, don't let pride cloud your judgment. Acknowledge the error, learn from it, and move forward. This humility and willingness to adapt are hallmarks of a Stoic mindset. However, not all criticism is constructive. Some comes from malice, envy, or ignorance. In such cases, the Stoics teach us to rise above it. Imagine criticism as waves crashing against a rock. You are the rock, unmoved and unshaken. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside, and see what sort of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety that they hold this opinion of you." By understanding the source of baseless criticism, you can detach yourself emotionally. Remember, Their words reflect their own struggles, not your worth. Instead of reacting defensively, practice indifference. 7. Focusing on your life. What does it look like? To truly focus on your life, you need to shift your attention away from external distractions and center it on what genuinely matters to you. The Stoics believed that a meaningful life is one lived with purpose, guided by virtues like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline. Focusing on your life means aligning your actions with your values and striving for growth in areas that are within your control. First, ask yourself, what are your core values? What do you want your life to stand for? By identifying these, you create a foundation for making decisions and setting goals. The Stoics often emphasized the importance of living in accordance with nature, which, in modern terms, means living authentically and embracing your unique strengths and passions. Focusing on your life also requires cutting out distractions. Social media, gossip, and the endless pursuit of material possessions can pull you away from what's truly important. Epictetus warned against wasting time on trivial matters. If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. This doesn't mean ignoring the world, but being selective about where you direct your energy. Once you've identified your priorities, the next step is action. The Stoics believed that philosophy is not just theoretical, it's practical. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, do every act of your life as though it were the last. This doesn't mean rushing through life, but approaching each task with focus, intention, and effort. Imagine a person who dreams of becoming a writer but spends hours scrolling through social media, comparing themselves to others. A Stoic would say, stop comparing, start creating. Dedicate time each day to honing your craft. Whether it's writing, learning, or improving your health, progress comes from consistent effort. Focusing on your life also means accepting and embracing the present moment. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only time you truly have is now. By grounding yourself in the present, you can take deliberate steps toward your goals without being paralyzed by regret or fear. Lastly, recognize that your journey is yours alone. Stop measuring your success by others' standards. Seneca wisely said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Contentment doesn't come from external achievements, but from knowing you're living authentically and pursuing what truly matters. To focus on your life is to take ownership of it, choosing your goals, aligning your actions with your values, and finding joy in the process. It's about living deliberately, with clarity and purpose, no matter what distractions or challenges come your way. 8. The power of daily reflection. One of the most powerful practices in Stoicism is daily reflection. The Stoics believed that in order to live a virtuous life, we must constantly evaluate our thoughts, actions, and progress. This process of self-reflection allows us to learn from our experiences, identify areas for improvement, and maintain focus on our goals. By making daily reflection a habit, we can ensure that we are living in alignment with our values and staying on track, no matter what external distractions or challenges we face. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, made reflection a part of his daily routine. He would write in his meditations each day, evaluating his behavior and thoughts. He famously asked himself, "What did I do today? Was I kind? Was I honest? Did I live according to my principles?" This simple act of looking back at his actions helped him stay grounded and aware of where he needed to improve. The first step in daily reflection is to take time to pause and think about your day. At the end of each day, take a moment to review your actions and thoughts. Were they aligned with your values? Did you respond to situations with patience, wisdom, and self-control? If you've done well, take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate your progress. If you've fallen short, reflect on what went wrong and how you can handle similar situations better next time. A key question to ask yourself is, did I focus on what was within my control today? Stoic wisdom teaches us to focus our energy on our thoughts and actions, not on the things outside our control. Did you waste time worrying about the opinions of others or situations beyond your influence? If so, acknowledge it, let it go, and commit to doing better tomorrow. The power of daily reflection is in its ability to create a cycle of growth. Every day offers an opportunity to improve and refine your character. By regularly reflecting on your actions, you gain greater self-awareness, allowing you to make more intentional choices in the future. This practice also helps you stay aligned with your goals and values, ensuring that you are consistently moving in the direction of your true purpose. Incorporating daily reflection doesn't require lengthy journaling sessions or complex exercises. It can be as simple as a few minutes of introspection before bed. The key is to make it a consistent habit. Over time, this practice will help you develop the clarity, focus, and self-discipline needed to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. By embracing daily reflection, you empower yourself to take full responsibility for your life, learning from every experience and continually striving to become the best version of yourself. 9. Embracing discomfort as a path to growth. One of the central tenets of Stoic philosophy is the idea that discomfort and adversity are not to be avoided, but embraced. The Stoics believed that true growth happens when we push ourselves outside our comfort zones and face challenges head-on. This concept might seem counterintuitive in a world that often prioritizes comfort and ease, but Stoicism teaches us that discomfort is a powerful tool for transformation. Seneca, one of the key Stoic philosophers, argued that we should seek out hardship to build strength and resilience. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. This perspective encourages us to view discomfort not as something to fear or resist, but as an opportunity for growth. Whether it's physical discomfort, emotional challenges, or even intellectual struggles, facing these difficulties head-on builds the resilience and mental fortitude necessary for a meaningful life. Stoics believed that we are often too focused on avoiding pain or discomfort, and this pursuit of comfort leads to stagnation. By confronting challenges, we strengthen our ability to persevere, adapt, and thrive in the face of adversity. For instance, when you face an uncomfortable situation, whether it's a difficult conversation, a stressful work project, or pushing yourself physically, embracing it rather than avoiding it allows you to develop valuable skills and insights. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reminded himself to welcome discomfort as part of the human experience. What stands in the way becomes the way. This phrase encapsulates the Stoic mindset perfectly. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers, we see them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge is a chance to refine our character, increase our resilience, and ultimately become more capable. Another powerful way Stoicism teaches us to embrace discomfort is through voluntary hardship. The Stoics didn't believe in waiting for life's challenges to come to them. They intentionally sought out discomfort to train their minds and bodies. This might mean fasting, enduring cold temperatures, or taking on difficult tasks to build mental toughness. By putting ourselves in situations where we experience discomfort on purpose, we prepare ourselves to handle whatever life throws our way. This mindset also helps us manage emotional discomfort. Rather than avoiding difficult emotions like fear, anger, or sadness, Stoicism teaches us to face these feelings and learn from them. Instead of letting emotions control us, we can use them as signals that point to areas where we need to grow or where we're holding on to things beyond our control. In doing so, we transform discomfort into a powerful tool for self-awareness and improvement. In a world where instant gratification and comfort are often prioritized, the Stoic approach is radically different. It teaches us to embrace discomfort, not as something to be feared, but as an essential part of the process of becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. By shifting our mindset to see discomfort as a path to growth, we free ourselves from the chains of avoidance and begin to truly live with purpose, determination, and strength. 10. Detaching from the outcome. Focus on the process, not the result. One of the most powerful principles in Stoicism is detaching from the outcome and focusing instead on the process. The Stoics understood that while we can control our actions and effort, the outcome of those actions is often beyond our control. This insight frees us from the frustration and disappointment that often come when things don't turn out the way we expect. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, repeatedly reminded himself of this. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The Stoics believed that the key to peace of mind was accepting that the result of our efforts is not ours to determine. Instead of focusing on the outcome, they emphasized the importance of dedicating ourselves fully to the task at hand, doing our best, and then letting go of attachment to how things turn out. Imagine you're preparing for a job interview. You can control how well you prepare, how you present yourself, and how you respond to questions. But no matter how hard you try, the outcome is influenced by many factors beyond your control: the interviewer's mood, the competition, company politics, or simply whether the job is the right fit. If you focus only on the result, the outcome of the interview, you will be setting yourself up for disappointment and frustration. Instead, a Stoic would focus on the process. How can I prepare to the best of my ability? How can I be calm, clear-headed, and composed during the interview? By detaching from the outcome and focusing on the effort, you free yourself from unnecessary anxiety and disappointment, and you become more present and effective in your actions. This approach extends beyond job interviews. Whether it's a sports performance, a creative project, or any other goal, focusing on the process means giving your best effort without obsessing over whether you'll win, succeed, or achieve your desired result. In doing so, you place your energy where it belongs, on the things you can control. Epictetus taught that we must practice acceptance when it comes to outcomes. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If the result is favorable, enjoy it without letting it define your worth. If it's unfavorable, accept it as a part of life, learn from it, and move forward without regret. The Stoics understood that attaching our sense of self-worth to outcomes, whether success or failure, leads to emotional instability. If we succeed, we feel elated, but if we fail, we feel crushed. By focusing on the process and detaching from the outcome, we remain grounded and resilient regardless of what happens. This principle is not just about avoiding disappointment. It's also about focusing on what truly matters: the effort, the growth, and the journey itself. When you detach from the outcome, you are free to pursue your goals with calmness, clarity, and focus. You do your best because it aligns with your values, not because of the external reward. And in the end, that's what leads to a fulfilling, meaningful life. One where the joy is found in the process, not just the result.